Hello and welcome back to the Nethercorp channel. Here we will be playing on our Sons of the Forest multiplayer world today, and we're just going to really play, be chill, have a conversation about the future of the channel, the solo world, and today talk about the game mechanics, the what I figured out about Virginia and how she works, how her AI operates, as well as Kelvin. Typical observations of a YouTuber and a gamer. This is a really tight game. I enjoy playing it. Honestly, it's one of the best horror survival games that I've come across. And this just came out on full release as of February of this year. And the game developers, they're not done. They're always updating, always, fixing little bugs, adding a little thing here and there, making changes. And we're going to talk about a few of those changes today. So sit back, enjoy the show. And please, if you have any tips or suggestions, don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know what I could do to improve the quality of this channel. So without further ado, this is my North Beach garden compound with electric fence, as you can see here. Now, I have been doing a lot of testing in this world. I have, as you can see on the map, a lot of Virginias walking around. That's what all of those heart GPS locators are. I did some extensive research into Virginia's AI just to try to figure out what it takes to tame her, why in some worlds she seems to not want to tame at all. What it takes to actually get her on the team, as well as why Kelvin does some of the things he does, like refusing to work, not understanding what it is you're asking him to do, like what you saw in the first episode of the solo playthrough. We'll be talking about how to make objects levitate, float, structures. We'll talk about plants and how buggy they are still. Just generally anything and everything. Like I said, this is a test world. It's a multiplayer experience. If you want to come in and join me, you are free to do so. Just remember, no trolling, no griefing. Be cool. This is a good vibe server. So just be yourself, but please don't be toxic. Keep in mind, this is a YouTube channel. I have a brand to consider. I don't know who's going to be watching my videos eventually. We mark our content, content such as this is not quite being suitable for children, so that doesn't mean children aren't going to be viewing the video, because if a kid wants to watch the content, they can always get on their brother or sister or parent's account to watch, or maybe mom and dad's watching the video with them in the room. So we're going to try to keep this a respectable channel with decent language. We're not going to be exposing people that shouldn't be exposed to certain things. We want to keep everybody's mental health up. We want everybody to walk away from this experience happy. So first, let's talk about what it takes to get all of those Virginias over there attained. So I built a little compound, and we're going to head on over there. As you can see, I have mods installed. Oh, hey, Mr. Floating Shark. We're going to head on over, and I'm going to show you my test site for Virginia. This is where Virginia and Kelvin live. Here we go. Alright, so first things first. If you're looking to do a little test of your own, my suggestion is doing something like what I did here. I was wildly successful at it, as you can see from all of the Virginias that I have floating around in my world right now. And the first thing you want to do is you want to make a little structure. It's going to be a long rectangle, and this rectangle is going to be It's going to need to be in the water. Virginia loves to drink water, relax in water. Um, you'll find her, if you have a hard time finding Virginia in your world, look for a waterfall or a stream. She's often there sitting in the water, bathing in the waterfall. Just don't approach her. Don't get too close. She's very skittish at first. She'll run away. And one of the things they tell you, which I've come to know it to be true, is that the more you scare Virginia, the longer it's going to take her to warm up to you. And the longer it takes, the more of a chance she's just not going to. Now, you don't want to freak her out. You don't want to scare her. And she is very, very easy to scare. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a little place for yourself over here on the far end, away from the water. And you're going to want to make sure that you put a source of food, not only for Kelvin here, but put a few more legs on here, maybe a couple arms. Virginia is a cannibal. Unfortunately, the only thing I've ever really seen her eat, other than berries, are human body parts. Yes, that is kind of bothersome, but hey, that's what she's into. So, over here, in her area where she spends most of her time, I have these 2 food racks, whatever you want to call them. I have plenty of room over here at a distance that's far enough away that I've determined most Virginias won't be in a full panic. They'll run to the other end over there. Sometimes they'll run back, they'll get too close, and you know what? I think it's better just to show you what I mean. We're going to tame one live on stream. How about that? See, she's running away right now because we are way too close. Granted, she just spawned in. Okay, and with the F8 key, after you enable cheat stick, you gotta hit F8 maybe 1, 2, 3 times in order to be able to see what they're thinking, but this is how you know what's going through her mind. Now, one of the things they tell you when taming Virginia is if she's dancing for you, watch her dance. Another thing they tell you is that if you have anything in your hand, a weapon of any kind, get rid of it. Just put it away, hit G. She will scale very easily, and then it'll take a while. She'll see you as hostile. She won't tame. So we're going to let her do her dance, and we're going to watch her go through her cycles. We're going to watch what goes through the head of a 3-armed, 3-legged mutant. Now she does this a lot. The flank to view player. I've put her in a rectangle. She can't really flank me. She's going to attempt to get close to me over and over again. And when she gets too close to me, she's going to be afraid and back up and then run away. And as long as you stay within this enclosure, as long as you can keep her in view, most of the times, she'll still be here. Now, if I go back to the North Beach and then return, I'll find her outside this compound walking around. It's like, if you're not there, she can glitch through the wall. And I've had that happen many times, and then I had to go looking for Virginia at a waterfall or somewhere. But generally, I have a lot of success with taming her. As you can see, she's afraid, moving away from player. And then she'll run around. And then she'll stop. Her AI will switch between relax in water, drink water, rub feet, move away from player, none, wash in water. She'll go to the severed arm, pick up locations, which she just did in front of us. She'll go through all the cycles. Now, when you see her collecting berries or anything berry related, there's a chance she is collecting those berries to bring you and drop the item to you. If she does that, pick up the item and eat it immediately. Don't leave it laying on the ground. If she drops it and it glitches through the ground, don't worry. I'm sure she'll do it again. But keep in mind, just because she dropped the item doesn't mean she's necessarily ready to tame. You'll know because if you try to get close to her, she'll keep running away. That means she's closer because she's bringing you stuff, but she's still not quite ready. However, if you see the backpack icon, when you're in close proximity to her, it means she's tameable already. You can give her a shotgun, GPS locator, pistol, change her clothes. Any one of these actions will instantly tame her. Now, as you can see, it says local player too close. She's curious. She's trying to get a better look at me without getting too close. I'm not sure. She does this thing where she hides behind trees. Okay, like the crouch and watch player, hide behind trees. Watch what happens when I approach her. What was that sound? She gets scared and runs. Local player is too close. Okay, you're not quite ready. I understand. And she appears to be stuck. There she goes. Now, I want to caution you against putting anything that she can climb on right next to this wall, because I have had quite a few Virginias just hop on here and then hop right over this wall. So this was a bad idea. I haven't moved it because, to be honest, it's only happened a couple of times. The majority of them just walk right over it and they don't even have the thought of jumping over, but it does happen. So keep that in mind when you're building these. Now, I did put up a little divider here. That way when she wants to hide, since there aren't really any trees except for the one I stand by, she can hide behind that. She's a very curious one. And like most experiences I have with women, what's on their mind is just constantly changing any given second. Like, watch how quickly she transfers from one thought to the next. She'll hold this thought until she eats, and then she'll cycle through drink water, rub feet. Like I said, she'll just go from one to the next, and sometimes she'll be walking to collect a berry and then just change her mind to explore the world. There appears to be no reason for it. I can't for the life of me figure out what cycle she's going through, whether or not it's something that I'm doing or not doing. But I do know that with more time, she'll get closer and closer, and then she'll get close enough to bring you something. And the majority of times, the first time, she'll run away. But she won't run far. She'll stay within close proximity to you. She even somehow, some way, knows where you are on the island without having to see you. She can be on the opposite end of the island and know exactly where you are and run to you. I can be under the island in one of our underground builds, and she will be directly above our location on the surface. She knows where we're at regardless as to whether or not she's within close proximity or whether or not she can visually see us. She just knows our location at all times, as does Kelvin. Kelvin will follow you around even if you tell him to maintain the base sometimes, and he'll come find you when you're on the other side of the mountain. And you left him on the other side. So they know where you're at all times. So that tells me the majority of her thoughts, our actions will dictate what she's going to do. Like, it's not going to be close proximity. It's not a proximity rule. I mean, a couple of them might be, like the move away from player, the player's too close, but if I'm hiding behind a tree, if I'm wearing some sort of disguise that hides me completely, she'll still know I'm there. She will still see me. For those of you who don't know, the outfit that's made of all leaves, it's very stealthy. If I squat down, I'm almost completely hidden. If you look at the little eye icon next to my strength meter, it goes from I can be seen to I can barely be seen. It doesn't matter if I'm hiding in a bush, behind a tree, on the other side of this fence here. It really doesn't matter. You cannot hide from Virginia. Let's be clear. You can try, but you will be unsuccessful. She knows where you are, some way, somehow. Like this bush, for instance. As you can see, the eye icon is completely grayed out. Like, there isn't even the smallest sliver. She cannot see me, yet she knows I'm here. Oh, there she is, hopping up on things. This might be the moment she escapes. Like, she knows I'm here. Now, obviously, I'm not too close. If there was a bush in sight, I would show you what I'm talking about, but after extensive research with this three-armed, three-legged mutant, the only real conclusion that I can come to is that it's a time thing. It has to be. She has to have been within close proximity to you for so often, for so long, to kind of get to know you, to get comfortable with you. So don't scare her. See, even this is too close for her to handle. Give her space, back up. You don't want to scare her. And this appears to be the right distance for this time, because she's willing to go wash herself in water, and she's not going to try to run away. Now, Virginia, she's a badass. She's the one you want on your team. Kelvin, sorry, buddy. Look, nothing personal. But she's the better AI. When she's fully loaded, pistol and shotty, she's undefeatable. Like, infinite ammo. You really do nothing but run and hide when danger comes. And dude, you creep me out with those eyes, the way you look sometimes. I should be creeped out by her with 3 arms and 3 legs, but she's cute, and to be honest, she's pleasant. She'll give you a thumbs up. She'll bring you things, everything from berries to fish, aloe vera. She'll, fire off at hostile enemies, laying waste to everything in the area. She's cool. She's the one you want. That's why I have an army of Virginias all over the place. Alright, so the birds are definitely stealing food. And a way around that is to put a little scarecrow close to the food racks, because apparently these scare away. These keep the birds away, so we're just going to build one of these up. That should work. See, I have one over here already. Now, periodically, we're going to try to get close to her and test the distance, but I've found that if there's some sort of campfire going, that she'll sleep next to the fire, she'll come and sit in one of these chairs, and from time to time, she'll walk over the fire, burn herself, and then she's laying on the ground. You got to help her up. Now, according to the website, according to the game developers themselves, if Virginia is down, pick her up. It's one of the things that can help tame her quicker. So I've considered making a row of campfires so that no matter how she tries to get to the food or to get over here into this area, she'll catch fire, and I can just keep helping her up, thinking maybe that'll fix the issue. I haven't tested that yet, just because, I'm not a fan of catching Virginia on fire. It just doesn't seem like something I want to do. I kind of feel like she should know that I did that intentionally, and then maybe that would, I don't know, I'm just afraid she's going to hate me for it. And I feel bad. She's cute. I don't want her to get hurt, so. She, like I said, she's cool. She brings you stuff. She helps you out. She'll protect you. She's the best in-game character that you can have on your side. So we're going to stand here. We're going to inch closer and closer, and we're going to see what it takes. How far do we have to be away before she's going to be afraid? How close can we get before she gets scared? Now, she's trying to flank me, but as I said, I haven't given her the room to flank me, so I don't know what she's hearing, what sound she's afraid of. I'm standing still. You know, I've often questioned, because I've had a friend over here playing in the server with me, and he and I were standing still in close proximity, but we were having a conversation. Oh, I should fight. Okay. We've got cannibals. That's what it is. She can hear the cannibals, and now she's afraid of them. Alright. She doesn't seem to be upset anymore, so the danger must be averted. We're probably good. I'm not sure. Don't really care. I have on God mode, so it doesn't really matter. I just don't want them to spook her. See, she's afraid she's going to hide behind the tree. She hears us when we jump. That noise, she hears it. What was that sound every time I jump? Now, I'm also starting to believe that she can hear you talk through your microphone. That whenever there's somebody speaking, she can pick up on that. No, that's not every time, but it's just strange. I could be standing here not moving, and she could be like, oh, what's that sound? I'm scared. Run from player. It just doesn't make any sense. If there's anybody watching and from N-Night Games, the developers, can you give a more thorough, in-depth explanation as to the how Virginia works? What action's going to equate to what with this woman? Because, to be honest, I spent hours trying to figure this out, and I came pretty close to having an idea with all of the Virginias that I've tamed in this world so far. So, see, me walking into the water, she heard that. Now she's going to watch me. Can't flank me. Am I too close? Yep. Okay, so the distance isn't too far. It isn't too bad. I'm able to get closer to her than I thought. So I think this Virginia is tameable. I just think it's going to take a while. Yo, N-Night, when it says flank player, flank to view player, should I turn my vision away from her so that she can view me from my flank? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Is it I'm in her view, she can tell I'm looking at her, and she wants to kind of sneak up on me? Because if that's the case, every time it says flank to view player, I'll just turn away. Yeah, see, we're still too close. It looks like she's flank to view player. Was that run away from player? What was that noise? Yeah. See how she flickers back and forth in between one thought to the next to the next. It's kind of troubling that anybody, any AI, would be acting in that way. Like, you can't keep a stray thought. You can't go from, you know, one emotion to the next, or one thought processy to the next. It's just a back and forth, like, flicker. And look at this, her actions right now make no sense. So we're gonna get as far away from her as we can, all the way back into the very corner here. And we're gonna watch what she does. We're going to observe this woman. Now it is getting dark, so we are going to change the lighting to 8 a.m. the time of day. I'm kind of confused. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those things to where you just don't know what to expect. I'm kind of confused. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, she's hearing something and it's not me. I'm standing still. Also, I want to warn you. If you have killed a Virginia and you spawn in another Virginia, for some reason the new Virginia will remember that you killed her or that you had killed the prior Virginia, and it becomes increasingly harder to tame the next one. At this point in this world, I've shot dead two different Virginias since after taming all of these Virginias. I've shot two that did not seem to want to tame. Literally took hours, spent hours. I had another setup like this, but it was much longer and wider to give them more space, and they still did not want to tame. So, I did do the big no-no. I did take out a couple Virginias, but I think they fixed it, or they performed some sort of patch of some kind, because I have since tamed two Virginias, and they weren't as hard to tame as the ones before. And the Virginias that I had tamed when I shot those two dead, they wept. They wept. They put their hands over their eyes and cried, and one of them backed away from me for a couple seconds, but they didn't untame like they used to. It used to be if you had done that, if you performed that action, all of your Virginias that you had tamed, they were afraid of you. You had to tame them all over again. Now they only show that they're, of course, sad, and a bit fearful from time to time, but they still protect you. They still bring you stuff. In fact, after I shot those two Virginias dead, they all started coming up to me and bringing me berries and fish and aloe. I literally stood here for hours trying to tame these two. None of the other ones did anything other than just, provide security for me. But the moment I shot those two and then they were no more, all of my tamed Virginias approached me and started bringing me stuff. Now, I don't know if they were just trying to stay on my good side, if that's maybe a behavior that's programmed into them or not, but, it would be nice to have developer feedback, like, in depth. Like truly in-depth feedback from the developers on this matter, because Kelvin's not really that much of an enigma. I mean, you have a list of what you can tell him to do. He's either going to do it or he's not. If he refuses, he's probably tired or hungry. You've overworked him. Just tell him to take a break. If he's been doing nothing but taking a break the entire time and you try to tell him to do something and he's refusing, like, in my solo world, I figured out why he was refusing to, in episode 1, to bring me the logs. The logs were too far for him. He didn't know they were there. If I had told him to follow me to the halfway point, and then at that halfway point, when he's still close enough to the holder, and he's still close enough to the logs, then I had given him the order to collect the logs and place in the holder, it would have worked. But if you're standing at the holder and the logs are far away, he's not going to know those logs are there. If you're standing at the logs and you're telling him to pick up these logs to take them to a holder, you're not going to have the option of holder because you're not close enough to the holder for it to pop up on that little, notepad as put in holder. You have to be within a proximity. Now, I don't know what the distance is. I don't know if it's a few meters. But you could tell in episode 1, I wasn't that far from the logs. Both the logs and the holder, they were really close by. There was no reason for him to tell me no. Or not no, but to shrug his shoulders like he didn't quite understand what I meant. So I don't know if they're patching him, if they're updating his AI or not. But I can tell you he's not the one that we really care about. He's the guy that helps you out. Yeah, you tell him to do stuff, but she's the one that brings you stuff. And to be honest, she's the one that kills the enemy when you're being attacked. And she doesn't run out of ammo. So Kelvin, even though you're a big help, dude, she's definitely the better AI. I'm sorry. And I'm going to put you on blast, Mr. Pink Pajamas. Okay? I'm going to put you on blast right here, right now with all the viewers. If you tell this guy to cut down trees, you had better make sure you do not have a treehouse. He will walk right up to this and cut it down. That's not right. End night. Come on, man. He should recognize that this tree is a structure once something is built on it. And it is no longer a tree that he can cut down. Because my first attempt at a solo playthrough, I had the idea of having a treehouse B&B. And had a nice sized treehouse. Had it all kind of decorated out. And, you know, of course he couldn't get up there. I think maybe that's why he cut it down. He was pissed he couldn't climb up. But then I told him I needed more logs. And he walks right over to it and chops the damn thing down. And I'm just like, you know what? That's the first 2 videos of my solo playthrough. You just ruined my run. So I started over. That's why you haven't seen any of that content. I started the solo world over. The episode 1 you've seen is the restart. So be wary of what you tell him to do. And he's a thief. If you told him to do something and 10 minutes later you're cutting down trees because you need a couple logs, and you told him to get logs, you might see he's picking up the logs that you need. Just make sure you are aware of what he is doing. And I mean, worst comes to worst, if you don't find him that useful, just get rid of him. I kind of feel like we should test that. I want to see if the game developers have fixed it. Alright. This is supposed to be Virginia's test area, but bro, we are going to test you too. Alright, he's got the axe out. Oh. Clearing 5 meters means he's going to cut the grass and the weeds. Oh, he's done. Okay. We'll do get logs and drop here. And he's going to go eat food. He must have worked up an appetite doing all that weed cutting. Oh, cut down this tree. Which tree is it? Tell me it's not my tree house. It's not? Okay. Yo, did they patch it? Is my boy Kelvin gonna leave our tree houses alone going forward? He skipped the one in the barriers. He skipped the one right outside of the barrier. Okay. Yo, to those of you who say the game devs that made this game, they don't listen to your feedback, I can tell you right now, yes, they most certainly do. And yes, they are still updating and fixing the game. They are doing a great job at fan service. They really are. I can't tell you how many complaints I saw online. And my own complaints as well. Like, they have obviously fixed these issues, so. Kudos to you, Night Games. Uh-oh. Did I speak too soon? Nope. He bypassed the treehouse altogether. Uh-oh. She's burning. Okay. She seems to be okay now. Hide behind a tree. There's no tree in here to hide behind. Virginia, come on now. Okay, no, that's fine. She's alright. Let's go back out here and monitor him. He's not as useless as he used to be, apparently. That's great. All right. Wow. That looks like the Virginias are out of food. Or at least my tamed Virginias are out of food. Alright, that should do. Oh, is it the sound of him cutting down trees that's scaring her? So wait, can Kelvin scare Virginia as well? Because I always see them like in close proximity and she doesn't seem to be, you know, even aware that he's there. Okay. Well, bro, you passed the test. Come here. You have passed my test. So let's just maintain the base for now. Resettle the traps, pick the berries, do whatever you need to do. Keep that campfire going. And yes, you can glitch through walls and objects with a zipline. That's why I did it, so I don't have to open the door and let her out every time I want to. Okay. No, I feel you, girl. I need to sit down too, you know. Let's do this. Me and you, we gonna be buddy-buddy. You gonna be my main chick. Although you need to go get clean. You're kind of dirty right now. Yep. You know what's kind of scary? You know how you hear some guys have a type? If you've seen my ex-wife, now without the blood on her face, let's go see what that looks like. Let me show you. This Virginia looks a lot like my ex-wife. Nope, smile, pretty. You're pretty. Smile. Don't do that with your face. Yeah, you look a lot like my ex-wife. Only you need blue eyes. Which is saying a lot. My ex-wife is a beautiful woman. You know, we have kids together. I can say that. She's remarried, and I think her new husband knows he has a beautiful woman. But is this the standard typical type for most guys? Is that why they modeled Virginia, you know, to be your standard 5'8" or 9" blonde haired, you know, fair skinned, you know, I want to say thin bodied woman, because you have the hourglass shape, but you're just not thick in certain areas. I'll say you're fit. How about that? You look healthy. You look like you exercise. How about that? Is this the preference for most men? Is that why they made her look like this? I mean, they could have made her a brunette. They could have made her, you know, Asian or African American. Hell, they could have made her look like Beyonce. Well, there you go. Thank you. That's what I wanted. A beautiful smile. Okay. Well, I do like that tracksuit. In-night games. I love the collar. I love the graphics. I love, you know, it fits her well. If they made a tracksuit like this in real life, if that's where you get this idea from, I would definitely buy it, like a guy's version of it. It's kind of sick, like the collars. Not gonna lie. But you know, I'm an army guy, prior service, so since this is our Virginia for like now.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're going all camo, girl. You get to be my badass chick. Yeah, you like that. Fit you well. But I'm gonna sit in the gold chair. I'm the king of this castle. You should know better. In fact, you know, you're my queen, so let's go ahead and upgrade you as well. No reason why I shouldn't. Alright. Where are we in the taming process? Well, we're all the way over here and she's scared and moving away, so that's not a good sign. And she wants to hide behind a tree, also not a good sign. It usually means I've got at least another couple days before she's going to start warming up to me, so let's test that theory. Okay, what day are we on? 34. Let's back the day to, we'll say 4 or 5. I'm not sure at what in-game day Virginia's curious enough to start approaching you, or if that is even a thing. I've been doing this thing where I changed the day, the count number, and trying to test and see if at day 100 is she more likely or less likely to tame. If I put it on day 5, does she still need another week before she's gonna warm up to me? Let's test that theory, shall we? We will go with day 21. No immediate difference. She's getting closer. She still wants to view me from my flank. Let's try pushing that day a little further out. We'll go with day 101. Let's see if that makes any difference. Or she got really close to us just to relax in water. Can we approach her quietly? And she's going to get some food. She'll have to get pretty close. Okay, I'm not making a sound, so there shouldn't be a reason. Alright, girl, if you want to view me from the side or from behind, here we go. Will this have any effect on whether or not she'll tame? Let's find out. I really wish Mr. Marvelous would pop in right about now. That guy has all the knowledge. Maybe not all knowledge, but yeah. He knows a lot. Maybe he's heard something. Maybe he's figured something out along the way. What sound are you hearing? I'm standing still. Are there cannibals? Is it the sound of her own feet landing every time she jumps? Now remember, you don't want to scare her. The more you get closer and closer, and the more often you do that, the less likely she'll tame. You're supposed to give her her space. But I have to know what it takes to tame her. What are the limitations? Like, what sound is it she's hearing? I'm not making any noise. Again, she's very, very scared of some sort of noise, and I have no idea what it is. There don't appear to be any cannibals in the area. No one else is making noise. Oh, here comes one of my other Virginias, and she's got something in hand. Is that a fish? Berries, maybe? What do you have, love? What do you got? Was that aloe vera? Well, don't set it down in the water. It'll wash away. Come on over here. That's close enough. You can put it down now. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Well, with that, I think I'll try to flank her quietly. Oh yeah, I'm definitely making noise in the water. Let's see if I can just sit here and she'll be alright with me being close. Okay, that's too close. But it wasn't a second ago. Okay, she stopped. I'm not too close. She's worried about the noise. Still. Do you see what I mean about me not making any noise, but I'm talking, so it's almost as if she can hear me talking? Like, at night, is that a thing? If I'm talking in a microphone, if I can be heard in-game, does she hear me as well? don't know. To be honest, she's an enigma and we need answers, so. Let's talk about the solo world. Now, I know most people have the attention span of a fruit fly, but it's really hard to make content that's any less than an hour long when it comes to this game. Everything that you do, it's a grind. You gotta cut down a lot of trees just to build a platform or a tree house. Like, everything takes a really long time. So, I get it. I set high goals. I said, let's go out to the raft. But before we can go out to the raft, we got to get our health up. And, you don't want to get eaten by a shark. We got to build some sort of shelter because we'll be approached by cannibals or mutants. There's all these things that you have to do before you really hit that goal. But don't worry, episode 2 is on its way. And in episode 2, we do make it to the raft, so you will be seeing that. You don't need to worry. It's coming soon. I'm already in the editing process, so make sure you check that out when the video drops. And to make sure that you don't miss that video, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that all bell for the notifications, because we put out a lot of content. Or we plan to put out a lot of content, everything from, long videos to shorts to streams. And I'd like for you to be there. I'd like for us to engage. So let's make sure we're aware of when the new content comes out. Tap that all notification. And if you want to see certain things in this world, you want to, dive deeper into how the AIs work, or the spawn mechanics, or even cannibals. Like, anything really. Do you want to know what's the best place to hit up first in this world? What's the best sequence to go collecting items? Whatever, maybe you have a idea for a build. Drop that down in the comment section below. It really does help. The more engaging you are with me, the more that YouTube algorithm is going to push the content out there for everybody. And it helps me, not only to get traction exposure, for the channel, but this channel is either going to thrive or dive, and I'd rather it thrive, to be honest. I'd rather this little journey we're on together, I'd rather this last. I really don't want it to be something that I tried that one time and just couldn't make work. I'm not doing this for an income. I have no hopes of being the next Mr. Beast or anything like that. I want to have fun. I want to have fun with all of you. And, for me, this is more about a hobby. I stress the limits of what this world can do. Me and my buddy Mr. Marvelous have broken this world with the off-map builds and the exploiting the game mechanics to get something to glitch. You normally can't place it here, but if you manipulate in the right way, you can. We love stretching the limits of what we can do. So please, join us on this adventure. You'll learn a lot. If you want to learn how to build, under the map, we're going to be doing that. You'll see a lot of how to, and if you're having these problems, you can always do this to fix it. And I do apologize to my viewers. I keep forgetting that Virginia, in the rain, her top becomes see-through. So let's go ahead and turn off the rain real quick. I don't know how long she's going to stay wet and see-through, so I'm going to try to stay over here. And I know most of you, this is marked as a video that's not for kids because of the nudity and violence and cannibalism, all that. But like I said, you never know who's going to end up watching it. I did install a mod called Red Censor, and that's supposed to cover up, bare naked breasts and body parts. But it does not work for this outfit for Virginia. And you can't change her outfit when she isn't tamed. So I'm kind of stuck while taming her, being able to see through her top when she's, when it's raining. I do apologize for that inconvenience, but there is really nothing I can do about that. That's a game developer issue. I don't think they cared whether or not this was going to be on social media platforms or on, YouTube. I don't think they cared whether or not it was going to violate the terms of service as far as nudity. They made this for us to play, not to show off. They want us to enjoy the game. And sex sells, let's face it. It's been that way for more than a decade in our society here in America. Our marketing and advertising, they know sex sells. It's why you see it in everything. And they've known it since I was a kid. Come on. So let's be real. Let's be adults about this. Is it really that big of a deal that you can see nipples on a video game? Is it really that big of a deal if you can see somebody's butt or vagina? It's really not that big of a deal to me, but I mean, I understand if you have little kids in your house who, snicker at the word pee and poop or whatever, or boobs, they just start laughing. I get it then. You don't have a mature audience, I get it. But I marked this video for not being for kids. The game developers, they rated their game properly. It's for a mature audience. So if you're the adult and you're upset your kids are getting a hold of my content or this game, and you're in any way upset over the nudity or the whatnot, that just means you're not doing your job as a parent good enough. Now, I know I'm a parent. I've been a parent for more than 2 decades, and I can tell you that when a kid wants to see something because they heard about it from somebody at school or wherever, they're going to find a way. As a parent, there's nothing I can do. I can't watch them all the time. Like, I got to go and cook from time to time, and I can't trust that one of them didn't find a way to get on the internet or get on a phone or look it up. There are all kinds of ways, and kids are smart nowadays. We really don't give them that much credit. I think they're smarter than we realize. And then by the time we realize it, it's a little too late. So, I do give a disclaimer. Like I said, this is not for children. However, the strange part is this is my multiplayer world. I get people logging in of all ages. How are you going to let your 9 or 12-year-old son or daughter play a game like this? Like, my kids want to be able to watch my YouTube channel, and I've got 3 minors. 5, 10 and 13. That's their age. Like, this is definitely not for them. So I have to say, I'm sorry, you can't watch this. Or, if your mother is okay with what my content has in it, if she doesn't see a problem with it, or she's willing to, explain to you why this is not okay and this is okay, that this is fantasy, not reality. And, if she believes in your maturity level, I'm always going to believe in you. I'm always going to believe that you can be mature until you show me you're not. But I'm not around you all the time. I can't know what you do when I'm not around. So if she's alright with you consuming this content, then I really can't say anything to my kids, because I get 9-year-olds and 12-year-olds logging in to try to play this game, and when I ever have a problem and I say anything to them about it, they're like, oh, well, my mom, my dad, they're okay with this. My dad actually plays this game with me, and I'm just like, alrighty then. I think a lot of parents like myself, and I'm not saying I believe my children are mature enough for this, to consume this. I'm just saying I think a lot of parents give their kids credit because they don't go around acting immature while they're being, observed by their parents. I think that when mommy and daddy's watching, they're on their best behavior. But when the cat's away, the mice will play. You've heard that before, right? Yeah, because, like I said, this is not... Like, my solo world, that's not my first playthrough. Kelvin ruined the first one, cutting down my dang treehouse. But this is also not my first multiplayer world. My last, not my last world, but the one prior to that, I got trolled so hard by children. I had a 9 or 10-year-old. It couldn't be any more than that. His voice had no. He was a squeaker. I'm sorry, there's no better way to say it. He was so young, you could tell he hadn't hit puberty. And he came in here and trolled me so hard. Started tearing apart my builds, murdering Virginia and Kelvin. And it's just like, why would you do that? Why would you be toxic? And the kid was just doing it to have fun. He wasn't mad at me or upset. I didn't do anything to offend the kid. It's just what he felt like doing. He felt like being toxic. Maybe he was blowing off steam. He had a rough time at home. I don't know what these kids' home life is like. Maybe this is their way to escape reality. Their way to, let off some steam and blow some stuff up and feel like they got it out of their system. I don't know. But to be honest, I'm tired of footing the bill for it. I'm tired of spending over 300 hours playing the game, learning, and then, spending weeks on some of these builds just to have some little kid come in and tear it all down in seconds. So, if you're watching this, if you end up watching this, please don't come into my world and troll. Just be cool. Okay, we're still too close to her. No, don't go over the fence. Thank you. Yeah, I have to move those away from the wall. Keep that in mind. Never put objects that they can climb on right next to the wall. They'll go right over it. Alright, so we've had our conversation. I started out saying that the solo play, it's hard to make them any less than an hour because of all the grinding you have to do. Let's get back on topic here. After 16 minutes, the majority of my viewers for the first video stopped watching. Now, when I go back and I view, what's going on in that moment, it's like the majority of you could not stand to sit there and watch me struggle with the cooking pot. Now, it did take me a few minutes to figure it out, but the majority of the people I play on this game with have told me it takes them hours the first time to figure out the cooking pot. It took one guy 3 hours, that's what he said, 3 hours, to learn how to use the cooking pot. It didn't take me anywhere near that long, so try to have some patience. This is a learning process. It's a new game. Now, at the point of this recording, I have over 300 in-game hours, but at the time of the recording for my first solo, I was a noob. Like, I didn't even know how the cooking pot worked. So, with that having been said, I took some time off. I took about 2 months off from my second episode to do a bit of server hopping. I've played on your servers. I've come to know many of you, and I've learned quite a bit from a lot of you. Even those of you who don't think you've taught me anything, you really have. You've contributed to my plethora of knowledge in this game. Like, I'm only as good as I am because I've played with good players, to be honest. So as far as all of those noob moments that you're going to have, always taken forever to figure this out, you're not going to have to worry about that in the episodes going forward. Episode 3 and on, probably going to be very different. Nowhere near as boring. Just watch the video and laugh. That was Nethercorp as a noob. Took him 20, 30 minutes, however long it took me to learn the cooking pot. Dude, you had water inside the compound. What are you doing? Did I lock you out? Yes, I did. Okay. Well, that's what it is. Do you have food out here? No, you don't. Let's get him some food. Seems like all of my fish and food are rotten already. And that's another thing. In night games, the meat spoils too quickly. Like, way too quickly. It should not be rotten already. Like, what are you doing? Can we get a little bit more time before the meat goes bad? Because I kind of feel like it should last much longer. Not much longer, but it should last longer than it does. And we need more building items. We need more things in the book to be able to build with. Commonsensical things. Like, really just do some fan service. Put out like a poll or a survey online on your website. You know, put it in the game or on Steam even if you have to. What kind of new features or in-game items would you like to have? Give us options, even suggestions. If you don't have any suggestions, just leave it open and we'll give you tons of ideas. Just do a little bit of fan service. This game has so much potential to it. Like, I can't even tell you how much fun I've had playing this game. Oh, she's got an item. Is she gonna bring that to me? Okay, so when your untamed Virginia is holding something, she sees you and she walks up to you with it in her hand. Yep, drop items. That means she's ready to tame. Now, she might not be ready. She might run. But if you pick this up and eat it, see, she's not quite ready. Oh, yes, she is. Bingo, baby. Okay. This Virginia did not take half as long as the majority of all the other Virginias.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the moment that you're waiting for. When you see her holding something, she's going to bring it to you. As soon as she drops it on the ground, pick it up and eat it. Get close to her and give her something as quickly as you can. It could be a weapon, a tracker, a tracksuit. Doesn't matter. Give her something, because now she's tamed. She's on our side. Welcome to the team, Virginia number 304. She's a runner. She's a track star. Wearing a tracksuit. Now, why did I say that? Oh, yeah, because she looks like my ex-wife, and she bailed on the relationship. Oh, snap. No, he didn't. Alright, so that concludes the test for how to tame Virginia, how long it's going to take, what it takes. That'll give you a general idea as to what you can expect from her. There are ways, like, I just literally tamed her in front of all of you. And, I mean, that didn't take long, right? I'm sure some of you have had a harder time taming her than that. It's taken you much longer. So we're going to cut this stream short. This was a test stream. This was to let all of you know what you can expect from the solo playthrough. Episode 2 is on its way. It'll be out. It'll be released here soon. I'm in the final stages of editing the video now. We are going to be starting the multiplayer series. It may end up being in this world. It may be in a brand new world. I'm not sure. I'd like to invite a couple of my Steam buddies to play along with me. Mr. Marvelous and a few others, you know. Tunga Bung 420. Mad 7, Medieval 7. We'll see who I can get on the show. You know, who I can get in game. And what kind of amazing builds we can build. We're gonna play. We're gonna have fun. You might see an interesting side to us that you've never seen before. Just please, no judging, okay? Don't judge. Be cool. We do amazing builds like, this is my buddy Mr. Marvelous's build right here. Let me show you what this guy's come up with. And this is here on my server. Go ahead and change the lighting. See, we will change the time of day to 8 p.m. This is his stage. Look at that. The lighting. You got the drums. You got the guitars. You got the microphone. The speakers. Like, this is excellent. You got the bar right here. You know, you got a booth. Wait, is this light off? Yeah, it's off. I think it needs to be reconnected to the power. But it doesn't matter. It's an amazing build. It's even got stools here at the booth. You know, a little dining area. It's got this area. It's kind of dark. You got your privacy, kind of laid back. You can sit here and listen to the concert play. The band. And you have my little compound down here. Now it's still a work in progress. This is more of a place for the newbies to come, and there's a lot of open space. They can build themselves a room in here and make it all of, you know, all for them. That's what this is here for. It's a place for you to hold up. Alright, and this is Mr. Marvelous's floating under map garden. Looks better in the daytime. Looks better when it's green. A lot of these plants are out of season, I think. And I could try to turn it to spring again. Maybe that'll affect. No, it doesn't. That's also a thing that they need to patch for end night games if you're listening. Like, the plants, they make no sense. I've gone through every season in game, and his plants, they look brown and withered. Like, why do my plants on my garden on the beach look so green and vibrant, and his just look dead? Like, there's no reason why they should be brown and dying. And these haven't even grown yet. Ah, because they're empty. Okay, he hasn't done anything with that yet. But I mean, look, it should all look like this. It should all be green, vibrant, healthy. Not this dead brown twig stuff. It's just like depressing. What's the deal with the plants? What's the game mechanics about? What roles do the plants follow as far as growing goes? Like, help us to understand better, please. Now I do have one more build. Actually two. They're way up in the sky. Like I said, we like to test the limits of what the game can do. We like to try to break it every chance we can. So there is for those of you who don't know, just like in Minecraft, in this game you have XYZ coordinates. And yeah, you can teleport yourself to anywhere if you know where the coordinates are. But what that means is that there's a box, and within that box, within those building areas, you can build anything that you want. You know, it has a coordinate. It is somewhere on the map. It has a geolocation. So, to build outside of that box, off the map, that was the goal for Mr. Marvelous, I think. And was he successful? He was. Check this out. Now, we're obviously very high up. This is the island. There should be a teleporter underneath my feet, because I just used the ancient artifact to teleport, right? No. The teleporter is actually off the map above us. How do I know this? This is the ceiling to the world. This is as high as you're supposed to be able to go. Now if I teleport again, it'll take me the rest of the way. And now here I am. And that's how far away we are. See how high we are? We're much higher than we were. He found a way to build all the way up here. You can't even fly this high. Mr. Marvelous, how did you do this? This just blows my mind, bro. Guy literally built off the map. So far above the map that I don't even think we have XYZ coordinates. Let's check it out and find out. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The y-axis, our level, is called max. It is maxed out. We are as high as we can get. There isn't even a y value for our location right now. How is that possible? And the fall from way up here takes forever. Takes forever to reach the ground from here. And if you're trying to take the zip line up, which there is a zip line, you've got time to order a pizza, wait for it to arrive, eat a couple slices before you've even hit the ground. The y value isn't even given a coordinate yet. Like, that's how I know the first time I teleported, I was at the ceiling, the limit to the world height. The maximum y value you could have. And that the only way I was going to get higher to make it to that teleport pad was to teleport a second time. Like, legit, dude built above the map. Like, no y value, maxed out. How do you do that? I think I'm going to challenge Mr. Marvelous to build one so far out on the X or Z axis that it is technically also off the map, just to see if you get the same result. I have a feeling that you do. Now, how did I know that he was building off the map? Because when I was down here on the ground, on the surface level, and he was climbing higher and higher, what I saw visually on my screen was him going from being way above me to being under the map, to being above me to being under the map, and it would just flicker back and forth, just that quick. He'd be up, he'd be down, he'd be up, he'd be down, and I'm like, there's no way the guy can teleport way up there and way back down, back and forth so quickly. There's just no way. It's not possible. And I hop on the walkie-talkie, and I say to him, what are you doing? Where are you? And he says, I'm up above the map. And I'm like, but I see you under the map. He's like, nope, I'm above it. The game literally does not know when you're up there where you are on that y-axis. It doesn't know where you're at. It just knows you're not on the map. It's some wild stuff, isn't it? See, we are finally now descending. This is the maximum limit. This is how high, because I'm holding the Y. See how if I drag it, I raise and lower. This is as high as we're supposed to be able to go right here. But as you could all see before, I've been higher than that. I've been way up here. In order to make it, I have to float. I'm sorry. This is the only way. There we go. First, you have to teleport to the absolute highest point you can. The max, the ceiling, and then you gotta teleport a second time to make it up here. So it tries to get you to the closest it can to the teleporter, but that's its limitation. So now let's test and see how long it takes to actually fall from this height, shall we? I'm gonna wait. We have a visitor. Let's not wait. Let's just go ahead and take that journey down. Okay. Whoever it is, they spawned on the islands over there. Well, I'll be able to pay you a visit in about 10-20 minutes. Mr. Marvelous, you blow my mind when you do these kinds of things, bro. I can't believe you actually built above the map. Like, not even on the map anymore. You're outside of the parameters in which the game developers intended us to be able to go. And I mean, they didn't intend for us to be able to build inside the mountain either, but, you know, we found a way to do that. Like, I'm still not even at the ceiling. Like, check this out. I'm still maxed. I'm still maxed. I still have yet to hit the very top of this world. I'm not there yet. And I've been falling for over a minute now. Over a minute. And for those of you who don't know, it should be a no-brainer at this point. If you don't have God mode on and you're falling from this height, it's instant death. Just know that. It is. Still not at the ceiling. Getting closer, though. Remember how big the island looked when we were at the max. We're beyond the ceiling at this point still. All right. We should be about at the ceiling, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, still not there yet.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's good?
No, not too much. Just looking around, see what other people are doing.
Okay. I am doing a very long free fall from above the world limit. There's a build up there. And it's taken me about 3 to 5 minutes to hit the ground. I'm still falling.
Oh, you saying you built something that you're falling from?
Yes, we have a floating structure above the height limit of the map. And I'm doing a test to see if it really is out of the frame, you know, that the developers gave us as a limit, and it is. And to see how long it takes to actually free fall from there to here. And the answer is 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Man, you're a freaking psycho, man. I love it.
Welcome to the NetherCorp server. I'm streaming right now, so please keep in mind. You know the brand. On this multiplayer server, you're allowed to use cheats. You're allowed to use mods. If you want, you could do a normal playthrough. We have a few builds under the mountain in the void. If you've ever glitched falling through the ground, you've been there before.
You haven't figured out how to fly yet.
There's a down-up maneuver if you want to get higher elevation. Just make sure you have enough height distance. You pull the nose all the way down until it won't go down any further. And the second it won't go down any further, raise it right back up as high as you can and hold it there. And just watch as you climb an elevation. Once it appears that you're not going to climb any higher, bring your nose back down. And that'll give you a higher and higher elevation every time. But you got to be quick with the raising the nose back up. Yeah, do you know the down-up procedure to gain an elevation?
I mean, yeah, I can get higher than I was before.
Yeah. Just point the nose all the way down, and then as soon as it's down, raise it up real quick and leave it up until you don't climb anymore.
So, where's this base you're talking about, or can I see it?
Yeah, I'll take you on a tour.
Will I be able to hang glide to it?
Yeah, I have a clip through the world entrance, I guess you could call it. Alright, if you can find me on the map, I'm on the other side of the mountain. Up in the snow, it's the area where you crashed the helicopter laying in the snow.
Gotcha. I'm making my way there now.
I have a rope gun over here for you. You guys at home watching, I really need to put an entrance and exit on the other side of the mountain. That way you guys who are, visiting this world don't have to fly all the way around to this side. Like I said, we just started building underneath there. That's why we only have a couple builds, and we weren't really focused. Usually when people spawn in there, they were spawning right here. They're not anymore. This is where I spawned in. For whatever reason, they're spawning on the opposite side of the island where those little islands are, off to the, was it southeast of the island? This is what it looks like. This is how you'll get in. You'll clip through. You'll just ride that zip line through the mountain and take it all the way there.
Should be getting close.
There you are. Alright, got a rope gun for you right there.
Thank you.
Alright, all you really have to do is just aim at the ground and clip through.
Oh, I saw it.
Yep, you gotta look at this snow. Usually helps me if I squat down and stand right about here.
Oh, there it is. Oh, look at there.
Alright, so this is the compound. If you're new, I encourage you to build a room in here for yourself. It's an empty space right now. It's open to the general public.
Look at this.
Now, my friend Mr. Marvelous, he's not on the server right now. He has a, I'm going to call it a bar and grill / concert area above us. If you want to get up there. Let's see, I believe it's the one on the roof. Yeah, I got to build a way to get up on the roof still, but you take the zip line and it's just right up there. He's got a little floating garden down this way, I believe it is.
I see it. Is that what I'm seeing, like behind your base up there?
That's kind of like a junction point where you can
Gotcha.
go there and decide whether or not you want to go down to the garden. You can go up or you can go back to the beach.
So how did you initially place something here?
Well, there are certain things that you can do natively in the game that most people don't know. I try to figure out how to break the game and exploit the game. Most people think you can't build inside of a cave, but you can with blueprints. And while I was on my buddy Eskimo X's server, I was trying to give it this cave this Minecraft feel, you know, where it's got the shafts and whatnot. So I placed a platform in there, but I put the walkable part of the platform, the floor, above the ceiling. That way all the beams were just extending into the cavern. And when I placed it, there was a rope descending down through the ceiling. So, you know me, I'm curious. I climbed the rope. And I climbed the rope right through the cave ceiling. And I was now here in the space in between. And I could not put down logs, but with Log Hack, I could build blueprints. I could add logs to like platforms. So you just place down a bunch of platforms, fill it with logs to finish the build, and then you can place other blueprints, structures, and stuff like that on it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I made a golf court racetrack.
Oh, that's sick.
It's a lot more simpler.
Yeah. And once you do that, from there it's just like, okay, what else can I do? I've played this game so many different ways that it's like, let's try something new for this next playthrough. Let's build an entire city under the mountain, in the mountain. Or, you know, if you've been to the North Beach here on the server yet, I have a massive garden up there over by the Rebreather Cave. But we're trying to do as much as we can under here. This kind of keeps you safe. You don't get attacked by cannibals, demons, or mutants under here. They can't get to you.
Hey.
Now, I didn't even know that it... You know, I always thought, you know, mountains and games, they're solid. There's no wide open space under here. Until I fell, I don't remember how it was, but I clipped through the ground, and I ended up falling all the way down there into what I call the eternal ocean. And I had to swim my ass all the way back to the beach just to be able to get back on ground. So I was like, I wonder if there's anything we could do with all that space. I mean, it's smack dab in the middle of the map.
So you're able to swim out of this space.
Yeah, but it takes forever. Yeah, you can jump right down there into the water and swim out to the beach, and then glitch through the wall. Or you can take the zip lines. I just use mods now to clip through.
Gotcha, yeah, I'm not familiar with all the mod stuff.
Yeah, I just downloaded them like maybe a week to 2 weeks ago, because I figured I was already using Cheat Stick here and there trying to figure all that out, because you know, I wanted to just try different things. And now my buddy's like, hey, you should try these mods, you know, an infinitely long zip line and rapid fire flying.
Oh.
Yeah, just all kinds of cool stuff. So this is an experimental server.
Cheat Stick yesterday.
Yeah, that's a
I've been playing the game for almost a month now.
that's an adventure in itself.
Yeah, I haven't even really investigated. I've only done like maybe a couple commands.
Oh, there are tons of things. Everything from spawning in, you know, Kelvin, Virginia, and like, if you haven't noticed on the map, I have more than 15 Virginias running around the island.
Gotcha, a little protection squad.
Yeah.
Do they sync up together, or do they just do their own thing?
They all do their own thing. At
That's
any
interesting.
given moment, well, with the F8 function in Cheat Stick, once you've enabled it, F8 will show you what they're thinking. It'll show you what Kelvin and Virginia's thinking. Yeah. Virginia switches from rubbing her feet to drinking water, relaxing in water, run away from player. Like, there's a whole taming process. I just did a video on it. That's why I have 15 in this world, to try to figure out what it actually takes, what's going through her mind. Why can some Virginias be tamed and others not? What happened? What went wrong? Yep, just tamed one in less than, I want to say 20 minutes.
Huh.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
Yep. Here you can learn how to. If you don't know how to build floating structures, Mr. Marvelous has a non-cheating way to do it, where you just place down a table, and then you put a log on it, and then you remove the log, place it back down, and instead of it being glitched through the table, it's now rested on the table. Then you can just remove the table, and it's a floating log.
Gotcha. I accidentally made one time. Just
Yeah.
trying to demolish some crap, and it just a bunch of it stood up there.
Yep. I actually could probably do it right here on one of these snap points. If I can remember where the table is in this book. I'm such a noob right now. Why can I not find the big round table? There we go.
You talking
Right.
about like in the furniture section?
Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to place it down, but I want to place it down over a snap point where you can place a pillar. So we'll put it right about here. And I'll give myself a log real quick. Alright, bam. Now, I want it to be a floating structure. So I really don't want it to be a full log. We'll go about half. About right here. Build this table real quick. Alright, give myself another log. Alright. Just like that. Now when I pick up the log, nope, there we go. And I place it back down, it's on the table. Now I can pick up the table. Oh, I think if I pick up the table without it being actually... I don't think it'll stay. Hold on a second, let's find out. Oh, it does. It stays. It'll float.
Huh. But that doesn't even, it doesn't look even.
Well, it will be even if I had gone around to each snap point and put the table down and done it. Like, once you make a full square, it'll be level. But because I only did the one,
Gotcha.
it's not really level. But yeah, now I can remove... Well, I can't remove this now, but I could before. But basically, once...
They patched it.
Yeah. Well, no, you can still do it. It's just I had to have a full square, and while it's still on the table, then remove that half log. And then when I remove the half log, I remove the table. That square's just floating there.
Huh?
But yeah, pretty easy.
So what did you say? There was... What were you saying?
It's pretty easy. I didn't even know that was, a thing. I just learned how to delete stuff in Cheat Stick, how to find out the name of things with the toggle structure resistance debug space on command. It lets you see the name of everything from beams to pillars to floors. And then once you know the name of it, you just type destroy space, the name, hit enter, and it disappears. That's how I make things
Yeah,
float.
the game was like freaking coding.
It kind of is. I mean, it's what the game developers use to enter in commands to make the game function.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So what's this zip line here going to?
that one goes to the North Beach where I have the massive garden. I wouldn't call it massive, but it's my little peaceful space.
Alright.
I usually meet most of the newbies there. Most people head straight for the Rebreather Cave first, so I meet them there.
What's up with that shark swimming around in the damn sky?
Oh yeah,
This is really nice.
they're just my buddies. They're docile. They don't bite.
Huh.
Have you ever seen a wall that you can actually sit on?
I don't think so.
No. You know how it's done? You place a
How's
bench
that?
inside the wall, and you can't tell it's there because I turned both of them to solidify.
Huh. Sure enough.
Yep. You turn a,
Even looking for it, I can't really even tell.
yeah, you can't. I mean, there's a spot over here to my right where you can kind of see like a wooden texture sticking out, like, but it's golden, so it matches visually. You can't really see it.
But it's just the benches on the bottom?
The top of the bench is right here at the upper limit of the wall, to where you can't see it poking through. It's just under, but you can sit on it, and it doesn't look like you're glitching through.
Huh.
Yep, little things like that to, you know, just kind of make the game interesting. If you want to go visit the Build by Mr. Marvelous, the little nightclub, whatever you want to call it, it's up there in the snowy area. There's that cave that you enter into. It's got like a bunch of icicles hanging down, and there's not much in it, in it. I think in the early access it had like something in it once, but then when full release came out, they really could just remove the cave. There's no point in it. I think maybe it'll have a blueprint, but that's it.
Gotcha. I'm not too familiar with the caves. I mean, I have, like, pretty much beat the game, I guess, but I really didn't know what I was doing in the caves. I see a cave next to a big body of water up there. I guess that's in the center.
Yeah, I need to go up
And
there
then
and
another one below it.
put a marker down. But yeah, if you go in that cave, he's got signs. He's got a line of people waiting outside. It's just a bunch of armor stands, but it looks like people chilling, waiting for the club to open. He's pretty good with the decorating. He's better than I am.
Wow.
Yep.
Pretty good.
If you want, you can play here whenever. Build something. Learn some building tricks.
Heck yeah. Did you say there was a zip line to that ice location?
I believe so. I need to head over just to check because we just started this server. My other one, we have an entire city under the mountain, and it's got multiple different ways in, but this one's just kind of brand new. We have a few builds and just kind of getting started here. I'll head over real quick, see if I can find it. Yeah. Give you a little bit of light so you can see what you're doing. Alright, everybody. So, we're going to be ending the live stream here soon. I'm going to give this guy a little bit more of a tour. And, we'll see you next time here on the Nethercorp channel. Thank you for joining in. And until next time.